Failure doesn't feel dramatic, it feels quiet. It looks like a cracked phone screen lighting up at 2:17 a.m. It sounds like a vending machine humming while you pretend not to notice your reflection in the glass. It tastes like cold coffee you forgot you poured. Maybe this is you right now. Working. Trying. Starting over. Again. And somehow still ending up in the same place. He thought he was unlucky. He blamed the job. The economy. His past. But what he didn't see was the one habit quietly destroying his future. But what happened next, nobody expected. Marcus Hill worked nights as a security guard at the Franklin Logistics warehouse on Piermont Street. Midnight to 8 a.m. 6 days a week. He wore the same black boots with a split sole taped underneath. His uniform collar stayed slightly crooked no matter how he adjusted it. His phone had a spiderweb crack across the top right corner, right where the time showed. Marcus was 29. Strong. Capable. And angry. Not loud angry. Quiet angry. He'd started 3 different community college programs: business administration, IT support, HVAC repair. Quit all 3 within a semester. "It's not worth it," he would mutter. "It's rigged anyway." His flaw wasn't laziness. It was pride. Marcus couldn't stand being bad at something in front of other people. The moment he felt behind, he pulled away. The moment he felt judged, he quit first. At home on Briarwood Avenue, he shared a small 2-bedroom apartment with his mother, Lillian. The wallpaper in the hallway peeled at the corners. The radiator clanged every winter like it was coughing. Lillian had diabetes. The medication wasn't cheap. One morning before his shift, she sat at the kitchen table stirring oatmeal. "You still thinking about going back to school?" she asked gently. Marcus shrugged, staring at his cracked phone. "I don't want to start again just to fail again." She didn't argue. Just nodded. But Marcus carried something heavier than bills. When he was 17, his father left. Walked out after promising Marcus he'd be better. Marcus swore he would never be the man who quit. And yet quitting had become his pattern. External obstacle? Money. Time. Exhaustion. Internal obstacle? The fear of looking stupid. And every night at 3 a.m., as the warehouse lights flickered slightly overhead, he felt it. Stuck. It happened on a Thursday. Cold. February wind cutting through the loading docks. Marcus was scrolling during his shift when his supervisor, Dale, walked up behind him. "You're not paid to scroll," Dale said flatly. Marcus slid the phone into his pocket. "There's nothing going on." Dale looked at him for a long second. "You've been here 3 years, Marcus. Same spot. Same complaints. At some point that's on you." That hit harder than he expected. Later that morning, he got home to find his mother sitting unusually still at the table. "They raised the rent," she said quietly. $200 more. Marcus felt something inside him sink. He stepped into the bathroom, closed the door, and stared at himself in the mirror. The fluorescent light buzzed. His eyes looked tired. Older than 29. "I'm doing everything," he whispered. "Why am I still failing?" But he knew the truth. He wasn't doing everything. He was doing enough to survive. Not enough to change. That night at work, instead of scrolling, he opened the Notes app. He typed one sentence. "I'm tired of restarting." That was the breaking point. He didn't feel motivated. He felt done. And sometimes, that's stronger. Around 4:30 a.m., the warehouse grew silent in a different way. Trucks paused. The sky outside shifted from black to deep blue. An older janitor named Samuel mopped near the break room. He'd worked there longer than Marcus. "You look like a man arguing with himself," Samuel said without looking up. Marcus gave a tired laugh. "Just thinking." Samuel leaned on the mop handle. "You know what ruins most men?" Marcus shrugged. "They start big. Quit small." Marcus frowned. "What does that even mean?" Samuel pointed to the clock. "You waste 2 hours a night on that phone, right?" Marcus didn't answer. 2 hours a day is 730 hours a year. Samuel continued. That's over 30 full days. A whole month of your life. Gone. That number landed. 30 days. Samuel dipped the mop back into the bucket. You don't need a new dream. You need discipline. Small. Daily. Even when nobody claps. The sky outside the loading dock door turned pale gray. Dawn. Marcus stood there watching light slowly touch the concrete floor. He realized something uncomfortable. He wasn't failing because he lacked ability. He was failing because he kept escaping discomfort. That morning, before going home, he sat in his car and decided one rule. No more restarting. He would choose one skill. One path. 90 days. No quitting. He picked IT support, the program he'd left after failing the first networking exam. That afternoon, instead of sleeping immediately, he re-enrolled. Payment plan. Tight budget. His mother looked at the confirmation email on his cracked phone screen. You sure? She asked softly. Marcus nodded. This time I'm not leaving. No dramatic speech. Just a decision. The first 3 weeks were brutal. Work all night. Class in the afternoon. Study before sleep. The warehouse smelled like oil and cardboard. The classroom smelled like dry erase markers and burnt coffee. Marcus struggled. Again. During a lab session, a younger student whispered loudly, How do you not get this? Heat rushed to Marcus's face. There it was. That old feeling. The urge to shut down. To disappear. He drove home furious. I knew it, he muttered. I'm just not built for this. That night at work, exhausted, he almost skipped studying. He opened his phone. Thumb hovering over a game app he hadn't deleted. Just tonight, he thought. Then his mother texted. Proud of you for trying. Trying. The word felt fragile. At 3:12 a.m., sitting in the security office under flickering lights, Marcus closed the game app. He pulled out his notebook instead. No, he whispered. Not again. This was the dark moment. Progress was fragile. Pride was loud. Fatigue was real. But he refused to restart. Discipline didn't look heroic. It looked like Marcus studying subnetting diagrams while trucks reversed outside with sharp beeping sounds. It looked like him setting a timer for 45 minutes during every quiet stretch at work. It looked like deleting social media for 90 days. He created rules. Study 2 hours per shift minimum. Ask one question per class, even if it felt stupid. Review notes every Sunday at 6 a.m., before sleep. At first, his voice shook when he spoke in class. Can you explain that again? He'd ask. Each time, the fear of judgment burned. Each time, it didn't kill him. By month 2, something shifted. Concepts started clicking. He helped another student troubleshoot a router issue. The same guy who mocked him earlier muttered, Thanks. Marcus didn't smile big. But inside, something rebuilt. He wasn't smarter. He was consistent. 3 months passed. He passed the certification exam. Not with the highest score. But he passed. And he didn't quit. 1 year later, Marcus no longer worked nights. He sat in a small IT support office downtown, sunlight hitting his desk through wide windows. His boots were new. His phone screen was finally fixed. On his lunch break, he transferred money to his mother's account, enough to cover rent without panic. That evening, he drove past the Franklin Logistics warehouse. Same building. Same lights. Different man. He didn't escape hardship. He outlasted it. The raise wasn't luck. The job wasn't handed to him. The respect wasn't free. It was earned in quiet hours nobody saw. And standing there in the parking lot, he realized something simple. He didn't need confidence first. He needed discipline first. Confidence came later. Failure isn't a sign you're incapable. It's usually a sign you quit when it got uncomfortable. Marcus discovered that 2 hours a day, the time he used to waste, became 730 hours in a year. That was his turning point. Not motivation. Not talent. Time, used differently. If you feel stuck, don't restart your whole life. Choose one skill. 90 days. No quitting. Track the hours. Protect them. Tonight, write down one thing you've restarted at least twice. Commit to 30 days without stopping. Comment below, what is the one thing you keep starting but never finishing? Because the truth is simple. Discipline feels heavy at first. Regret feels heavier forever. And maybe this story wasn't random. Maybe it was meant for you.